Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Financial Advisors Workshop. This is the show where we interview great financial advisors in our industry so we can all learn from each other. And we've learned some amazing things from some of the best professionals in the industry. So today we have Mark Johnson. And Mark, um, where exactly are you? Tell us where you're from, and then tell us a little bit about your practice to begin with.
Sure. So we're based in St. Louis, Missouri, right in the center of the country here, and we're a registered investment advisor, RBF Wealth Advisors. I have a practice and a team within the firm.
Excellent. And who is RBF?
RBF stands for the initials of the original three gentlemen that started the firm back in 1984, Roman Butler Fullerton. Um, two of the original founders have passed. Mr. Butler's still around and pops in the office here and there, and it's a pleasure to see him when he comes in. So we're kind of I'm the second generation of the firm, let's say, and we've been recruiting and hiring the third generation here in the last couple of years. So there's about 10 investment professionals at the firm today.
Okay, great, great. So, all right. So, you've been in the business now how long?
Since 1991.
Okay, good. And how has it changed in your time? And then how has your practice changed as well?
So the industry has changed. My high school yearbook said I was going to be a stockbroker. And so uh not to date myself too much, but that term has largely gone away. And so the industry has changed from obviously a commission based broker dealer environment to fee based registered investment advisor. Obviously, there's still some folks that are doing commission based business, but I actually just recently gave up my broker dealer affiliation, so I do everything under the RIA, and so that would be, I would say, the largest change. I spent 20 years on the corporate side of the industry and became an investment advisor in 2009.
Okay, great. So, when you made that change, how did that affect the business? And I'm assuming in some positive ways, but just give us that strategy. How did it affect your business to go to the RA side?
Uh, well, I've been in working in the RIA space since 2009, but I've been getting away from the commission side of the business that entire period of time, and I just finally severed, cut the cord entirely here just in the last couple of months. So, up the last number of years, the only commission-based business that I still was doing was variable annuity business. And with variable annuities now, most of the large carriers have introduced products now that can be utilized through an RIA environment. And so, the products are, some of them are index based. So the fees are considerably lower than some of the older traditional commission based products. So it was just time for me to unwind from that side of the business.
Okay. So, so tell us how you run your practice and like how many clients do you have and how do you serve them?
Sure. So I have about 300 clients,
Okay.
and I would say I have two sides to my practice. I have a traditional, investment management, financial planning practice. I do comprehensive wealth management, so that includes charging for financial planning fees and investment management. I do, quite a bit of life insurance, disability insurance, some small business retirement plans. So I would say that's fairly traditional. Uh, and then the second side of my business, which is where we've really seen the tremendous growth, is in the emerging healthcare space. And so um, the largest financial planning issue of a 28-year-old graduating from dental school today, or veterinary school, or pharmacy school, is their student loan debt. And I tend to thrive in a low competition environment, and found that there was this niche where the financial planning investment industry has all but ignored that issue. And so we have had quite a bit of success in the last number of years, uh, getting access to and educating and helping emerging healthcare professionals figure out what's the right strategy to tackle their student loan debt in the context of an overall financial plan. So we help them create a budget, figure out what's the best strategy for their repayment, kind of based on where they see their career going. If they want to be a practice owner, if they're a dentist or a veterinarian, over 50% of them tell us they want to be owners one day. For our medical folks, most of them are going to go work, at least initially, in a hospital or a nonprofit environment, and so there's some unique student loan planning around that. But that has given us entree to, I mean, it's an untapped market, and these will grow up to be very, very successful individuals, great wealth management clients. I wish I was 36 and not 56. Um, but um, but yeah, that's kind of the second half of the business.
So we talked earlier about the student loan issue. Let's dive a little deeper on that. You kind of identified that as something that's really a kind of a critical mission for you and for our country, frankly.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. Yeah, what do you see there?
Well, so it's really turned into a political football here since COVID, and right now there's been a couple of courts that have put a suspense on a very popular plan that was introduced last year by the Biden administration, the SAVE plan. And so right now, actually, student loans, as we're recording this at the end of August, student loans are actually turned off for a lot of individuals right now. It's in what's considered an administrative forbearance, but eventually people are going to have to start paying on their student loans again. And then, so we've got this huge $1.7 trillion or something on that order of student loan debt. And, you know, uh, graduates are coming out of school, whether we're focused on the emerging healthcare space, but other graduates, lawyers, engineers, whatever, and they could be coming out of school with anywhere from, you know, 200, especially at the graduate level degree, couple $100,000 of student loan debt. I've got clients that have a cool $1 million in student loans. And so how do you start a family? How do you consider buying your first home, starting a family, getting married? Studies show that all of those things get postponed in some cases because of student loan debt.
Right.
So it really is kind of, you said mission. It really is kind of a mission for us. We want to help our clients. Um, and, somebody that's 28 years old entering the workforce, their parents love us, because,
Right.
they've got all this student loan debt. So it's a great opportunity to, we always talk about generational wealth management.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we're asking for parents to introduce us as they're getting older for legacy planning to their children. My business is exactly the opposite. Their children are introducing us up to the parents, and the parents love us before they even meet us because we're addressing this most significant financial planning issue their kids are probably ever going to have.
Well, and so we've identified that. How did we get here? Is it the government policy giving people loans for maybe majors that could never make the money back and all those kinds of anomalies?
So the student loan financial aid, right? The nice word for student loans, financial aid, um, is has a long history, and both political parties have had their shot at it, and yeah, I mean it's simple economics and math that if any one of us, any financial advisor listening to this program was in charge of the Department of Education, they would have done it exactly the opposite. So basically what's happened is they've created an environment where there's an unlimited amount of money available um, to students, to borrowers. So they have financial aid, which, like I said, I have clients that have between 500,000 and $1 million of student loans, all backed by Uncle Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It's
then
crazy.
and then, and then when they graduate, the repayment methods, which there's about a half a dozen of them, just on federal student loans. One of them is considered an income-driven repayment plan. So you can have $1 million of student loans, but if you're only making $50,000, your payment's going to be like $300 a month. Well, at 6%, right? $300 a month. If the interest, on $1 million loan, 60 grand a year at 6%, you're not going to be making too much progress on that loan, making $300 a month payments. Now, my clients that have that much student loan debt obviously are making 300,000, 400,000. They're specialists maybe in the dental space or plastic surgeon or something. But anyway, the problem and how it's gotten so large is that these income driven repayment plans, unless you're really, really making a lot of money, like 300,000 plus, your payment in many cases isn't even covering the interest accrual. And so I have clients that graduated 20 years ago who are still, who their student loan balance is exactly the same as it was 20 years ago. All they've essentially been doing is making an interest only payment, and they are now sending their kids to college.
Well, that's
So,
called and taking out big loans.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and here's the sad thing is that there is no incentive for the educational institutions to do anything in terms of, keeping tuition in check. They continue to build up, in many cases, huge endowments. There's been a little pressure on that in the last, year or so, but some of the, look at your favorite colleges and what they have in their endowment fund, but their tuition keeps going up, through the roof. And, college tuition's been one of the fastest growing sectors because there's an unlimited amount of money.
Yeah.
If an advisor had no check on their fees, if there was no regulators checking our fees, I'd probably be charging a little bit more myself, right? But the the educational institutions, talking about price gouging, any college you go, any campus you go on now, all you see is cranes, right? They're just building more, building larger. We visit, probably 15, 20 campuses a year at least. And I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, you know, and they're, introducing new programs, whether there's any jobs available or not. That's a whole nother talking point. But yeah, the whole student loan thing is a real mess, and it's really a really sad state of affairs. But we focus on we focus in emerging healthcare. Our clients have jobs, they're making six figures of income, and we help put them on a path to paying this stuff down, hopefully within a decade of graduation. That's kind of our target,
Good.
within 10 years.
Well, and hopefully changes are made to those programs to not be as liberal to giving money away. And then also the universities start to get some responsibility for some of what they're charging, and they have a stake in the student's debt.
Well, that we'll see what's happened. There's a lot of politics in that, and a lot of money getting, a lot of support of politicians to not change the status. But in any event, I hope that that's the case as well.
Yes. Now you mentioned also that you have a specialty in medical and healthcare, emerging healthcare, dentists and other professions. Tell us about that. That seems like a niche to me.
Well, so that's linked to our student loan planning, and so what we've identified is that the average dentist that we work with anyway graduates with between 300,000 and 400,000 of student loan debt, and if they go on to a specialty program, could be orthodontics, periodontics, pediatric dentistry, there could be another couple $100,000 of student loans added above and beyond that. So this was kind of by accident, but we ended up building some market share in the dental space. So we have a couple brands that we market our services. One is studentloansrx.com, and that's available, basically for any emerging healthcare professional. But our work in the dental space took off, and so um, as a result of also being endorsed by our local state um, dental association, we also do some marketing under our brand Dental Wealth RX. And so that's been really exciting to see the growth in that space. In the dental
Yes.
space that we work in, if I get the opportunity to speak, and we do speak at a number of schools across the country, over half of the dental students graduating that's recently, indicate that they want to be owners, which is really exciting. I think dentistry is one of those last healthcare spaces where, you still have a really good shot at being an owner.
Right.
So, so,
Exactly.
a- so as being an owner, obviously, then there's a whole nother list of services that we're able to provide, not just on the personal side of finance, but also as, you know, as they become owners. Obviously, we can put in, retirement plans for inside their practice. We can do some business overhead expense insurance. So we're really trying to manage their corporate cash. So we're really trying to provide, the range of services that healthcare provider needs and could be serviced through a wealth advisor.
Exactly. So are there some unique characteristics about the medical side that make you attracted to it?
Well, my wife's a nurse, so
Okay.
I like that. I've had a daughter that spent some time in the dental space. She actually works for me full time now, which is great because she kind of knows the language in that industry. No, actually, um, selfishly, we're looking to manage money for people that have that are on a successful career track, and so healthcare is one of those. We have a shortage of doctors and nurses and dentists and those types of things, especially in the rural areas. We're out here in Missouri, so there's a huge shortage of rural dentists across the country, and so it's a growth. I think healthcare is obviously a growth industry, and they're going to be making six-figure incomes. Many of them are going to become owners. So I just think it's a great demographic to work with.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Are there any other niches that you work with, or just primarily that? And
Really, dentistry is really what's taken off to us. We're looking in, we serve emerging healthcare professionals across quite a few, veterinarian, pharmacy, recently optometry. We do have obviously some MDs. We have, two medical schools here in St. Louis, and we've worked with others as well. But dentistry is probably um, 75% of our work in the healthcare space.
okay, okay, great. Well, good. So, the question I like to ask advisors is you built this practice and you have a really nice business, about 60 million in AUM.
60
Very nice
million
practice.
in just a few years. Yep.
That's great. And so now your clients were attracted to you for some reason, and then they stay with you also for a reason. Now they may have different reasons, but generally there's kind of a pattern between clients. Why do you think they came to you? Why do you think they stay with you?
Sure. Well, initially, I think, and I'll just talk on the healthcare side of things, is that we came in and addressed their needs, and we educated them on an important topic that they're very concerned about. And to be honest with you, there was very little competition. I'm not running into 30-year veterans in the industry going out and educating young healthcare professionals about this, about their student loan debt and how they should look at that and put that together inside of a financial plan. So, like I said earlier, I tend to thrive in a low competition environment, and that's so they.
Okay.
I think they come to us because we educate them, we listen to their needs, and then we help them put together a plan and coach and mentor them as they're they're getting started in their career. If you get started
Nice.
on the right foot, um, we have very, very low turnover. I think because our clients are loyal because we were the first ones there to take care of them, and we continue to service them and take care of them. Now, I don't expect that we're just going to rest on our past laurels, and so we're always looking for new opportunities to provide service. We've got our own podcast coming out later this year, which is going to be
Nice.
really, really cool. We do, yeah. So we've got some cool stuff coming up as well. So
Great.
we're always looking for ways to build the relationship. We care about them as human beings, not just as clients. We want to know about their families, and just take care of people, and the rest will all work out.
That's awesome. Good. So Mark, we're in a very strange time economically, and as I talk to advisors about what they do and how they run their practice, we've been asking lately what folks think about the markets here and what you're doing with your clients. We've got the Fed now starting to lower rates. The market's hitting new highs. Usually, the Fed lowers rates when we're going into a recession. So why is the market going up? And will it go down? And what are you telling your client?
Well, I explained to them that the market, if we call the market the S&P 500, um, is highly skewed towards the top 10 or so stocks. I mean, if you look last year at the S&P 500, and if you just took out, the top seven, the Magnificent Seven, I think the market was up like 12%, absent
Right.
those. So first of all, we educate our clients that while you're seeing, the S&P continue to go up, understand that there's opportunities elsewhere. Small companies haven't really, they looks like they're starting to move a little bit. They started moving a little bit last fall and then tapered off a little bit. But, for our clients that have long-term time horizons, I mean, in particular, let's again talk about my emerging healthcare professionals. We're fully invested in the market. But that's going to include, US, international, small companies, a little bit of maybe some exposure to crypto, not a whole lot, but a little bit, so we're participating in the market. We do a lot of individual securities as well. So, so that's maybe a little
Good.
unique to us. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're excited. Interest rates are coming down because they've been elevated as a result of, we're still kind of in the COVID hangover a little bit. We're starting to get out of it, but I think interest rates have to come down a little bit. And if we go into a recession, that's a good time to buy stocks. So
It is.
yeah, I mean, the wind is at, we're in the greatest business ever. I mean, the wind is at our back, right? As long as
Right.
innovation keeps happening and consumers have a little bit of money in their pocket, they stay working, the markets go up. So we're in the best business ever.
No doubt about it. And that's why we have such great people in this business too. They're attracted to it. And yes. So when you run your practice, tell us about your team. I know you have a larger firm, but do you have a big support team for your
Yeah,
practice?
so we have we're lean, but we're looking. I have a full-time, you know, administrative, let's say operations support person, and she focuses almost exclusively on the investment account stuff. So opening accounts, moving, getting money sent out to clients, whatever. So she handles all of my back office stuff on the investment side. Um, I have a full-time um, staff person that handles all of our insurance operations. I mentioned we do quite a bit of disability insurance and life insurance. So once we identify and the client's on board to, you know, needing some life insurance or disability insurance, um, I have a staff person that takes that all the way through underwriting, and we have a great partnership with a couple of insurance providers that we're an independent insurance advisor, but we work with a with an agency here and two agencies here in St. Louis that really help us out. One on the life insurance side of things and another on the disability insurance side. And so that works out really well. I have a paraplanner, young man,
You do have a plan.
just graduated, uh, just actually got his CFP here in the last year, and we use eMoney, which is a financial planning tool, and that works great. Clients love it. We get to see all their assets. We're able to do planning because we got a 50,000-foot view, and that's a great tool. Um, and let's see here. We have an office manager that supports, the 10 advisors from a, payroll, compliance side of things. But, for my practice, I have a part-time person that helps me with social media, about 10 to 15 hours a week. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking for, you know, I'd like to get another younger licensed associate to help us with the emerging healthcare space. We see tremendous opportunity. Like I said, I wish I was 36, not 56, because we're going to get uh, these young healthcare professionals right out of school or residency, and they're going to grow into fantastic clients, and they'll be wonderful long-term clients.
So we're coming to the near the end of our discussion today. I just wanted to get a sense from you, Mark. What do you see as the trends in the industry for going forward, and how are you going to capitalize them? Right. So what do you see where we're going, and how are you going to respond?
Okay, well, that's a long
Big
question.
question. Yeah.
Big question. Yeah. So I think the trend is going to continue to be, you know, more technology, robo advising, lower fees. Um, Obviously, continue. There's information overload. Um, the clients are going to have to, uh, find somebody if they don't want to do it themselves. They're going to need to find somebody that they can trust and really develop a relationship with. And I think that's where we come in. And I think you're going to see more and more. It started here in the last few years, and we're looking into it as well as more of a subscription fee type arrangement where clients might pay a monthly fee or a quarterly fee to have a relationship with an advisor. And when I started in the business, people were selling mutual funds with a 7.5% front end load, right? And now, everything's, pretty much gone asset based,
Right.
fee based. So I think that's going to continue. Um, how are we going to capitalize on that? We're going to continue to see who some of the industry leaders are, like guests on your show and others, what they're doing. We obviously technology becomes paramount to really understanding the needs of the client. So if we stay close to the needs of the client, we're going to be in good shape. And so just continue to service clients, talk to clients, find out what their needs are, be on top of um, new technologies that are allowing us to take care of the client. That's,
Yeah.
you know,
So stay close to the client, and then all those trends will be clear as we listen to them.
yeah, I mean, I think, in some cases we can, trends happen because there's a need that's unmet, and then a larger group of advisors move into that space. And so
Right.
I'm hoping that we were maybe on the cutting edge of the trend of advisors helping clients figure out what to do with their massive student loan debt. I don't, we can't service, for example, there's 7,500 dentists graduating this year. We're not going to be able to service all of them that have 3, 4, 500,000 of student loan debt. So so the bulk of them are not getting advice, or they're listening to some, yeah, or they're not getting good advice. Let's just put it that way. We run into a lot of people that, got some bad advice. So I think if you stay close to the client and you understand the needs as needs come up, you find solutions to meet clients' needs, um, you should be fairly successful in our business.
Excellent. Good. That's good advice. And we appreciate your being with us today, Mark. We've got some good insights and love your niches. I think you've got a great practice and we see great things for you in the future. So,
Thank you. I really appreciate visiting with you today, Brian.
well, thanks, Mark. And thanks everybody for being with us here again on a great episode of Financial Advisors Workshop. We learned from Mark Johnson, and we'll be back again with another episode very soon with another great advisor, one of our brethren that's or sisterhood that are doing this business. There's a lot of great female advisors out there as well. So we'll learn from everybody. And thanks to Mark for being our guest today.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Thanks so much.